What's up guys, my name's Tom, welcome back to another video. Here for the finale of my F1 2019 career mode, episode 40. And you guys are asking why this is the final episode. Is because F1 2020 content is coming to the channel tomorrow. And yeah, it's not going to finish in the Mexican Grand Prix. It's going to be a compilation of the rest of the races till we win the championship, which is basically on our hand. But we're going to focus on the Mexican Grand Prix. And I want to say that the final video of F1 2019 is going to be out at the end of the day around 5 p.m. I want to say it was a 100% race that I organized, so if you guys could watch that video. I know there's a lot of F1 2020 content today from big content creators, but you guys could watch, give me a chance here, and tomorrow as well. I would be very thankful. But here we are. Unfortunately, the sound once again wasn't recorded this game, so I'm going to replace with some V6 turbo on the engines of this year, so I hope fine. But here we are in qualifying on the Mexican Grand Prix, and the pace has been really good for the Red Bull team. And qualifying one, just a formality, in Verstappen out scoring Ricciardo by 5/10 of a second. So naturally, this is a really good track for the Red Bull because yeah, you know, it's Mexico. It requires a lot of the straight line speed, but as well for the downforce barrier is the natural pace of this car. Is where this car is naturally good, as we cut a little bit the first corner in Q2, but the pace has been really good, and everything seems to be set to win this championship. So, and to you know, finish this career mode as fast as I can, I'm going to complete the final races of season 2. But there he is, Verstappen in the P1, so his pace has been really good, but we're going to try to outscore him in this Mexican Grand Prix as we skip all the way forward to the top 10 shootout. And we're going in our first run, cutting a little bit the chicane. I struggled a little bit in this circuit during this weekend, I'm not gonna lie, especially in the braking zones. I always was feeling the rears blocking a lot. And let's be honest, I hate the brakes of this game. Thankfully, in F1 2020 the brakes are going to be better. It is going to be harder to lock up, so that gives me kind of a relief. But we cross the line. That is provisional pole position with a 1:14 flat. We skip forward as we come back to the garage, and Verstappen sets fastest time with 2:10. He's the first one on the 18s, but there was some time left on the table on that lap, so I think we can gain some time, you know, in that lap. So here we are with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, already improving just slightly. But Verstappen is on the hot lap and he's very slow, and he ruins our lap. He's getting in the way, and we have to cool down the car, doing everything. I don't know, maybe a little bit controversial, going wild on purpose to let the other cars go, and yeah, that ruins our first run. But the tires are feeling good, the tire wear has been pretty good, so these tires are good to do another lap. It was just a few corners to going flat out, but 3/10 up, going purple on both sectors. And in the third sector where we struggle a lot, especially in this hairpin, where I struggle a lot with the braking zone and in the corner speed and the track. Basically I struggle in everything as we demolish the ball out there, and we're going through the last corner, feed the throttle, and we're going to cross line 4/10 up, and it's going to be pole position for the Mexican Grand Prix. So a very good start of this final episode of my F1 2019 career mode, and we outscore Verstappen at less than a tenth. So everything seems to be set, you know, to be a close race. Bottas, just to see in his first races with the Williams, despite being these because he transfers from Mercedes to Williams, but he's in P10 carrying the flag for Williams. And yeah, I think it's going to be a Red Bull domination, it's going to be a Red Bull supremacy, because we've been looking really strong. And strategy wise, it's going to be a one-stop, starting on softs and then switch to the hard tires, which I don't like this strategy, but I don't want to be stuck on the traffic, despite this being a good track to overtake. But here we go, 5 red lights for the Mexican Grand Prix, the final episode of my F1 2019 career mode, and away we go. And Verstappen seems to have a good start. We're going to try to give him a little bit of a squeeze, but he forces his way, gets his elbows out a little bit, and he's going to get up into P1 at the moment. But we are still side by side. Evan Butler trying to get a little look around the outside, but we managed to cover the line, and Verstappen takes the lead. And we are side by side with one of the Ferraris and the Racing Points as we shoot on the inside through the happy, very tight margins with our teammate. But most importantly, we retake the lead of this Mexican Grand Prix. So it's been a very good start. So now we're going to try to pull away Verstappen, try to break the DRS window, because the slipstream is so powerful around here, especially in the high altitude, because this track is really high when it comes to altitude. So the air resistance is not going to be, you know, the drag is not going to be that powerful as in the other circuits. So we have to watch that as we skip for a little bit till the closing stages lap 4, really losing the back end, so quite struggling a little bit on the tires. The tire wear on the soft side is quite high around here, but Verstappen is starting to gain some time. He has DRS, and he's going to maybe retake the lead, win defensive, and try to defend this position, as he's going to try to go around outside through the first corner, much confident on the brakes, and Verstappen retakes once again the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. So it's going to be a battle between the Red Bull team, and as you can see, we're already pulled away of Ricciardo and Leclerc. So just to see how strong we are today. So it's a Red Bull supremacy, like I said. But Verstappen going defensive now, going to invite us to go round the outside, but he pinches a little bit, gives a little bit of squeeze. Fair enough. Typical of Verstappen, I would do the same. There's no team orders here. It's just the battle for the championship. Max Verstappen doing everything on his power to try to keep these championship chances alive. And as we're going to have DRS once again, so it's the question of just being the slipstream, and you're just going to be fine. And here we go, nice camera shot here, and we're going to overtake. We are already ahead, and there's nothing that he can do thanks to the overspeed, and that's us once again in the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. But in raw pace, I think that Verstappen is much stronger, as the tire wear is starting to kick it in, maybe even more in me than Verstappen. So we have to think in something, because we're going to commit to the one stop. I don't know what strategy is going to Verstappen commit, but if it is the one stop, we have to be defending a lot from him, because I think he's going to set the mediums if he sticks with the two stop, and then he's going to switch to the soft. So we have to be consistent and fast at the same time on the hard tires, which is a hard thing to do, as we really forced it way. We touched a little bit the wheels. It was so close to lose a bit of our front wing, as we are still side by side banging wheels, doing everything that I can to defend this position. He has DRS, but we're very close, so we can get a little bit of overspeed, and we break at the same time, and Verstappen once again in the lead. So there's nothing that I can do. I just need to break the DRS window, but he's always managed to come back with the help of the DRS and slipstream, and I can't do anything. So through here is my best part of the track against the AI. This flowing session of corners. I always feel very tempting to cut a little bit, as you can see. If that was rank lobbies, I would be screwed. I think track limits is a thing that I really need to work on F1 2020. But taking a wide line, as you can see, I can abuse a little bit the track limits there. It's like an esports line, I can say. But we are stuck here in my POV for the entirety of the rest of the lap, and we're definitely going to have DRS and retake the lead. So just to see in raw pace, as you can see, Verstappen pulled away, but now with the help of the DRS and slipstream, it's going to be an easy move. As you can see, starting to gain this slipstream on the game in these Season 2 cars is absolutely insane. And there he is once again, the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. So it's been basically between me and Verstappen. Despite going at it, we are pulling away of Ricciardo and Leclerc. So just see how insane the pace of the Red Bull, especially around this track, is. Yeah, and I was quite impressed to be honest. But there is Verstappen trying to go around the outside once again. This is a brilliant battle between me and my teammate in the last episode of my F1 2019 career. Brilliant stuff. A good way to finish the championship, despite not probably be the fight till to Abu Dhabi, because the championship is on our hand. But it's good to battling with Verstappen in this last episode, as we managed to giving a little bit of a squeeze. We have yellow flags, and I want to say that someone is out of the race. As you can see in the mini-map, someone is going slowly, and I think was one of the racing points. It was Kevin Magnussen. So his Mexican Grand Prix comes to an early end, and we're going to pit on lap 10, starting at lap 11 for a brand new set of hard tires. But as you can see, Verstappen is following, and he's going to be a double stack for Red Bull. So this is disaster. I know what Verstappen is thinking, and he's going to kill his race. Basically, he's waiting and waiting to get his tire changed. I think he's going to fit the mediums, as you can see, the yellow stripe tire. But this was the worst thing to do. Verstappen, I had a priority because I was ahead of Verstappen, and yeah, his race is ruined. Basically, he was overtaken by the Ferrari. The Leclerc was hauled up by Verstappen because he couldn't get out of the way, because Verstappen was in the double stack. So in a way, Leclerc was blocked, and he couldn't get out of the way, but he definitely was jumped by the racing point. So Verstappen has some work to do if he wants to battle for the win, which I think he can, because at the moment I'm really struggling with these hard tires against the softs of the Ricciardo. Despite the Red Bull superiority around this track, there's nothing that I can do when it comes to tire situation. With the hards versus the softs in the same condition, there's nothing that I can do. There he is, Ricciardo waltzing away, and maybe he can challenge for the win. Maybe the two-stop is the best option. I remember last season with the Toro, so I made the one-stop and didn't quite work, but I decided to risk this time on the Red Bull, but things are not really looking good for us. But there's nothing that I can do, as Ricciardo is going to shoot on the inside of George Russell, and there he is, he's up into P5, but that's not a very clever move, because Russell is going to be at DRS, so is me, and Ricciardo is in some trouble, and maybe we can get ahead of him. It's going to be really tricky because he's mega fast. We have some work to do if we want to win this race, but we have the DRS open, rich mix overtake mode. Russell is starting to gain on the Austin. There he is, he's going to re-overtake, and Ricciardo has to do all over again, so he should have waited, you know, stick behind him in the stadium section, and then get the DRS and you know, get that position. But Ricciardo was not very clever, and we're going to have a chance maybe, because Ricciardo doesn't have DRS and we have DRS, so maybe we have a chance here. And he's going to defense him, going to try to go around the outside. He converts that defense into a move on George Russell, and I convert the move on Ricciardo to a move on George Russell, and that is a brilliant double overtake on these two guys, so I'll take that every single day of the week. And that was a brilliant move, I'm not gonna lie. Like I had the intention of overtaking the racing point, but then I saw the gap on the Williams. I said, okay, let's just go for it. But then Russell pitted. Ricciardo overtook him a few corners later, and Ricciardo tries to make a massive dive, as you can see, but no use, and we managed to touch. So it was very lucky for Ricciardo to not spin the racing point. But now he's starting to form a huge train, starting with Ricciardo, the two Ferraris, and then Max Verstappen. That is already back into the battle for the race lead. So just see first how slow I am and how fast the Red Bull is, because he's already back into because he has the race lead in his side basically. But then we skip all the way for a few laps later, and the two stoppers are going to pit. So Ricciardo is going to fit the mediums as he goes in the Under Grand Prix, and the same thing goes to the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, I want to say. But then here we are, just managing our race. We managed to keep Verstappen at bay as these medium tires are starting to fade away quite a bit, and Gasly, in the same strategy as me, is in P3 at the moment, so it can be a podium, full podium for the Red Bull family. And we're going to take that every single day of the week. But going wide a little bit, I'm starting to feel the pressure on Verstappen, but sooner or later he's going to pit, because I think it's going to be a 10 sprint stint on the softs as I go wide. I absolutely hate that right hand corner. I always go wide, and I don't know, I had that I struggled for the entirety of the weekend at the entry of the stadium session, but we have a massive slide momentarily. I think I was in the Drift Championship, but Verstappen is going to pit, and he's going to set a brand new set of soft tires. And now in this closing stages of the Grand Prix, he's going to be an absolute flyer of a guy, because he has the softest comparative tire, he has light car, he's going to set the fastest lap probably, but he has some work to do because he has to overtake these guys. But considering the nature of this track, where he's easy to overtake, and the Red Bull pace this weekend, I think he's not going to be he's not going to have any issues whatsoever starting with Pierre Gasly. And there he is, substream, and pretty easy move on the Toro Rosso, not making things very hard. He's from the Red Bull family, so who knows, some inter-team, I don't know what I'm saying. This is a video game. He's going to defend everything that he has. The same thing for Charles Leclerc, because at the moment Norris is in P3, but not anymore, because Charles Leclerc managed to go round the outside, so then Ricciardo now switches to the inside. Now he's going to have the outside, and this is a nice battle. So Norris in the podium like he was in 20 Austrian Grand Prix. It was like a banger of a race, but it seems that Norris is not going to replicate that in my final episode of my F1 2019 career mode. We'll see if he can do maybe in the next race, as now Ricciardo can't manage to pass Norris, and he's now going to be overtaken by the Williams of Valtteri Bottas. So Bottas taking the pieces of that battle, and now Charles Leclerc going around the outside of Pierre Gasly. So maybe the Red Bull dream podium is as Leclerc forces his way on Gasly. Now he's going to have the inside line, and Gasly has absolutely nothing that he can do with those old tires, with the new against the new medium tires. Ferrari, as we come back to our POV onto lap 31 I should say. And yeah, Verstappen is like catching like 2 seconds a lap, which is a lot. He has the fastest lap, so now I have to keep a little bit calm and not slide out like I'm doing, because these tires are starting to fade away a little bit, and we in lap 23 is already 8 seconds ahead of us, so we have to be very calm. I think we have the race in the back, so we have just to be consistent and nurse these tires, because the tire wear is I'm starting to feel a little bit the tire wear, and Verstappen has everything in his world to win this race. But you're going to see that we're going to skip onto lap 36 P6, and Verstappen is really on our tail, but that is not going to stop us to win the Mexican Grand Prix, and the championship is going to be even closer. So I think it's not going to be the championship here. No, definitely is not going to be, and I think we're going to have to wait until USA. But here is the not really fireworks, but it's a nice way to cross the line with the crowd in the stadium section. There's going to be another win for us, and the championship is even closer for us. So it's been a very positive day. I was thinking that the stop strategy wasn't going to work, you know, but yeah, Verstappen shouldn't do that double stack. I think he should have stayed one more lap. Maybe I could have get the overcut, because I was really struggling with the hot tires in the first lap, trying to get some temperature. But I'm really happy with this result, and to be honest, it wasn't the brightest idea for Verstappen to follow me in the pits, but that's how things go, and we are now much ahead of the championship. So now it's time to tell you the truth of everything here. We're going to win the championship in USA. You might wondering why I'm saying already this. Is because my recording software had issues again and didn't record the race, but I managed, you know, to verify, because I was having issues and I was aware of that. I managed to verify that there was the file was corrupted of the race and qualifying, and I managed to just you know, have the cutscene of me winning the championship. So this is a very anticlimactic way to win to end this F1 2019 career mode. So I hope you guys understand, but yeah, it's not the best way, and I want to apologize to you guys about what happened. But I just want to warn you, this was the last episode, and tomorrow is going to be F1 2020, and later on today, at the end of the day, is going to be my F1 2019, my last race online, and you're going to see. But I have everything set for me, and I just want to say thank you for this series and for the support. It was the most successful series in my channel so far, and yeah, I put a lot of work in this series, and seeing the reward, that is the views and the subs and your support as well, is the first thing that I can do. But now I'm gonna you guys let's enjoy my celebration of my championship with Red Bull. It's done. Red Bull is back on top in glory, back in the V8 era, and that was my objective. So objective accomplished, and I'm really pleased. So I'll see you guys in F1 2020 tomorrow, and yeah, once again, thank you for this series, and I'll see you guys in F1 2020.
This is it. You've become the Drivers' World Champion after that result. Wonderful job and well deserved.
It's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion.